Bracy boys back up in this.
Boy, you too.
Dirty nappy, chalk body outline, clean cut, man, exclusive.
Murder Mastery, Little Six.
Hey, what's up with your Drew?
You know how we do.
Nigga, take a dirt nap. Hey, man, I got a thirst for blood. Matter of fact, dog, you die when I bust the slug. Half these niggas, man, they wanna be us. Walk like us, dog, talk like us, dog. Fuck a bitch, I'm buck a bitch. Ain't no loving this, dog, I'm loving this. Fuck the government, throw the fingers up. All my real gang bangers, nigga, what? GD folks, nigga, Crip 6-0 bloods. Get that money, dog, that be us. All we trying to do is stack these chips. I'ma die trying to get it, I'ma die trying to live it. Give a fuck less, dog, if I don't spit it. Anybody alive who wanna come get it? Testing y'all, who got the best in y'all? Cause motherfuckers right now, dog, what? Who wanna? Hey, nigga, who wanna ride next? Who wanna die next? Who wanna try
now? Who wanna die when these slugs start to fly? Motherfuckers talking shit, I get my piece of my pie. Go. That's what the motherfuckers yelling to the motherfucking Glock 9 and shells start to sound and hit them. Get them. That's what I'm yelling on these bitches. Motherfuckers talking shit, spit the felon on these snitches. Jail. Melon on these bitches, back up off the microphone, selling on you snitches. Yeah, so go ahead and tell the cops when you motherfuckers wanna come and sail through the block. Tell you niggas how it gotta be. Motherfuckers talking shit, they wind up in history. Man. Motherfuckers, yeah, they wind up a mystery. Especially when a nigga go where the pistol be. Motherfuckers talking shit, ain't no issue, see. Cause we solve all the problems when they get to me. I want me to leave the crib. I'm trying to tell y'all today, y'all might not live. Frogtown, dog, that's all that it is. Matter of fact, I'm a beast, dog, I be this. Lyrically freestyle off the top of my dome. I'm trying to tell you, choke your dome till it's all gone. Squeeze ya, oppose ya, bitch, I'm a soldier. Your death is coming closer when I run up on ya. Jump with the 9, nigga, collapse your spine, nigga. The rap game is mine, nigga, about time, nigga. People tell me, dog, you're supposed to be glowing. Half these niggas in Minnesota know about running my, they already know it. Yeah, he go ahead and aim out shots at your abdomen. You motherfuckers talking shit, but we grab your men. Go ahead and grab the pistol, man, and let that spin. Yeah. Hold up, nigga, give him 10. I don't fuck around, all I do is buck him down. Run through and buck your town, hit you and buck your grounds. Niggas know exactly what it is, nigga, handle they biz and get it poppin'. Motherfucking niggas ain't stopping. Like Mano said, get it poppin' like it's over red and vodka. Who the fuck can stop us? Motherfuckers talking shit, aiming with the poppers, floppers. I got some shots for the cops. Oh, this ain't no fucking holy clown, this ain't Highlander. I mean, this money fuck around, kill you in the bystander. Y'all niggas better understand us. We get that money, dog, and raise our standards. And this is how we planners. Who wanna come get it? I'm nutty like planners. Cause half the earth ain't gonna survive when I dump this lyrical revive. Who wanna try, nigga? Who wanna get ripped? Who wanna talk about that shit? Bitch, I'm the realest. Who wanna come step, dog, and get your chest ripped, your throat ripped? I'm trying to tell y'all better know this. Who wanna show focus? I murder focus and afford focus and show niggas how we smoke shit when we approach shit. Niggas acting hard till they start to bleed. Motherfuckers bitch up when they start to breed. Motherfuckers talking shit till they stop to breathe. Motherfuckers know it's us, nigga, deadly as sea. Go ahead and bring it down. I thank my dad who made me. Grandmama, grandpapa, moms, and babies. Niggas talking shit, but I'm a product of the 80s. Motherfuckers talking shit, tuck with 380. Dog, I'm about to ride through and slide through. You better hope your family hide you, cause murder you, dog, I'm about to try to. Attempted assault, dog, not me. Assault nigga in the 3rd degree, dog, that's me. Catch me facing the judge, I still won't budge. I punch that bitch in the face, look at it like, what's up? Who wanna come and get some, dog? I did some, split your ribs some, and half y'all niggas don't know what. Hey man, it's Bracy boys. Chalk body outline up in this motherfucker. We just ride. Yeah. Hey, Lil Six, what's up, freestyling? But them motherfucking assault, nigga, we can do murder. I cook the beef upon you motherfuckers like it's a burger. Go ahead and lay the bun. I raised the gun and I don't give a fuck. I was raised at one. My brothers, ones who raised me. Cody, Corey, I'm the baby. Go ahead, nigga, I'm so crazy. Just like them, motherfucker, you made me this way. And I don't play, nigga, I let the fucking gun spray like a motherfucking AK. Go ahead and raise them off and let them graze. No time to jam, I let shit spray. See, these cats got me on some other shit. Lyrically, dog, I'm trying to tell y'all I'm on some other shit. Razor with a pillow, my own child, smother the bitch. Cause half these niggas, man, I don't love the government. I'm sick out my dome, man, approaches. I'm trying to tell y'all, I step on cockroaches. Who wanna come, dog, man? I bring the earth like the sun and make that money.
money lyrically, I'm the one. Picture what I gon' done. I committed a crime and don't even run. Cause half these niggas wanna be like, who wanna come get some? Who wanna come get done? Roasted, toasted, what?
Yeah, picture me rolling, pistol was stolen, strapped and concealed, ready to explode it. Motherfuckers talking shit until the nigga notice. But quote this, I'm finna murder niggas off focus. Go ahead, nigga, blaze the pound. But when I catch a nigga slipping, I'm gonna blaze them round. Give a motherfucker 6, give a motherfucker 10. When I double up on your set, I aim for flesh, not win. I could never pretend, never fall. Motherfuckers talking shit, but when the problem gets solved, I go ahead and grab the Glock and get the pop in the jaw. Motherfuckers talking shit, but then I'm popping they jaws.
Man, let me wipe the sweat from my brows. I'm the golden child, y'all niggas smile. Half y'all niggas hate me, half y'all niggas hate me, half y'all niggas hate me, cause half y'all niggas hate me. I know niggas and more niggas that know more niggas, that'll get niggas, that nigga ditch for bitch niggas. Who wanna come, dog? I'm trying to get rich, nigga, get rich or die trying. Tell 50 close his mouth, he's lying.
Yeah, shark body outline with dirty nappy. Laying off this track, nigga, blaze your pappy. Hood raised me this way, nigga, so I'm crazy. Motherfucking niggas don't wanna sleep with no
man. I'm not the call clean up to come and clean up, cause half y'all niggas, this ain't no felony shit, this is a misdemeanor. I'm trying to tell y'all though, we got soldiers and killers. Half that shit, gorilla back, silver gorillas. Who wanna come, dog? Syllables get spit, billabos get hit, and billabos get ripped. Beat my scriptures, make that money talk shit, come to get ya, and whoever is with ya.
Niggas talking shit, but I be overheating my manifold, blasting out the shots with my Tropicana blow.
Is that the same car that almost hit him before?
Really wanna come on, nigga, cause I'm with it.
Dog, I come sliding and
What's up, y'all?
riding. Matter of fact, fuck the best, dog, I'm trying him. No lying friend. Who wanna come from the low, dog? Boy, that's me. I get that money, who represent the soul like me? I'm trying to tell you, soldier, grow to be strong. Make this money, Dilly Strong's be song. You think I talk about my shit in music? Don't live it, dog, I live it. Every day I give it. Who wanna come get test next week, boy, from your head to your chest? Cardiac arrest, when Reaper faces death. It's over with. That's it. All right, man. Yeah. Bracy boys back up in this
boy, you too.
Bitch. Dirty nappy chalk body.
Oh, there. That was Bracy boys. We rolling through the hoods of St. Paul here. My computer's being really slow. Like when I'm trying to jump in here. When I was like pressing play, when I was pressing stop, it's like, and then it's showing me a black screen here for myself, for my own camera. But on my phone, I can see my face. But now I see my face here. It's like tech is screwy. If you guys just got here, I was over on the Machine Lies right before I started the stream. We were talking about those same kinds of concepts, like technology screwing up. And real quick, I just wanted to say, man, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been gone for a couple weeks. See, I just clicked that button. You might see me in a different format, but I don't see it on my side yet. Yeah, my main computer I use for my music and my graphics and everything, right? Like my main desktop shit out on me. The power supply died. It's like a proprietary. I had like one of those short towers. So it's like a proprietary power supply, $180 for a third party power supply. And then I'm not even guaranteed like there was like the power was kind of surging here on and off. And so I'm not even guaranteed the motherboard's not fried. I highly doubt the motherboard's fried, but it's like, I don't know if I want to spend $180 to fix it when it was already kind of giving me problems. And I was talking to Machine Lies before this, and I said, like, I think it's, well, I don't think it, but it's possible that because I didn't upgrade to Windows 11, like it kept prompting me. It's like upgrade to Windows 11, upgrade. And I was like, no. And then all of a sudden, like a couple weeks later, my shit's a brick. And it's like a fairly new computer, man, a couple years old, definitely not more than 3 years old. Let's say maybe 2.5 years old max. And I don't know, man. So the moral of the story is, make sure you run your shit through a battery backup. I've never done that. But I guess like because the power is kind of surging here, it's been storming. So I think just it's kind of flickering in and out. It's not keeping that continuous power. But I fried that power supply. It wouldn't have been a big deal if I had the regular the type of power supply, and there'd be like $70 quick fix. But I'd be willing to shoot $70 to see if it would work. But when you're talking about shooting like $200 basically to fix a $500 computer, and there's a chance it might not work. I think I'm just going to be better off try to get another computer. I had a stream about Paul Wellstone. Well, it was kind of a 2-part stream. I had it kind of set up. I was working on the graphic on the other computer, so I don't know if I'll try to redo it. Maybe all or something. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of dealing with this issue, but the idea was like Paul Wellstone, if you don't know, he was a Minnesota senator, and he was like considered the most far left leaning senator 20 years ago, right? And so the stream I had planned for my like solo stream, Drew World Order, on the Chalk Body Outline channel. And the idea behind the whole show too is that the cover art thumbnail is kind of its own standalone, like political cartoon almost. So if you go in the links about the descriptions in this video, there's like a collection of all my thumbnails, and they're not all like 100%. Some are just like quick little gag covers, but the one that I take my time on, and the thumbnails, like I feel like they're standalone political comics or cartoons of our time about these types of issues. And so that's why I don't know if I want to like do that stream without the cover that I had planned, which I could, and I could always add the cover later. I don't know. It's a lot of I don't knows here. But another thing I went and did today, I've had many people in the past tell me they wanted to send me like books and stuff like that in the mail, in the snail mail. So without doxing myself, I went and I got a PO box. So if anyone did want to correspond with me through snail mail, I have a PO box that's in the description of the video here. So it's PO Box 350351, Jacksonville, Florida 32235. I'm pretty sure I just got it today. So it's in the description of the video underneath. If anyone wanted to correspond, send a book or anything my way, maybe I can start doing like viewer mail or something, like Owen on every Friday or something, like, because traditionally my solo streams are on Friday night. It took a little break, and then of course when I want to get back into it, the computer shits out. I was not feeling doing the music for a while too, and then I was getting the bug again to kind of start messing with music again. Computer shits out. So that's life, right? Guess that's how it goes. What's up, you guys? Oh, UT said the PO box grift, man. Well, before Robin was gonna send me a bunch of all of our cakes books, but I think Robin has moved on. She says I'm a woman hater somehow. I'm 2 daughters and married. I don't understand how I'm a woman hater, but yeah, I need to stop the fan, but the fan feels good, man. Sorry. Here, I'll do the Zetetic Warrior. I can't even get that close to the damn thing. What else did I want to talk? I want to talk a little bit before I sorry, I'm on this ghetto little Mac. Hold on a second here. Before I jump into everything here, if you're new, I always forget to kind of leave a synopsis if you're new here. Basically, I have a lot of the long time same subscribers, so I appreciate all you guys. But kind of what I've studied, like conspiracy for a long time, and I kind of come to the conclusion it's like as social media is admittedly designed to create narcissism, it seems to me these all of these different conspiracy, knows who's creating them, probably like think tanks and stuff like that, but it seems like they are being created to manufacture mental illness. And like a lot of these ideas I've worked out over the course of many streams, and a lot of help from people in the comments and stuff on how to like we don't want to look at that guy. A lot of help from the commenters on how to like condense all this information down into like, digestible sound bites, basically, when these are like kind of complex, very, very nuanced topics. Because I feel like you could put 100 conspiracies, write them on what do you call them, post-it notes. You could put 100 conspiracies on the wall, and you could throw like 5 darts, and the 5 you hit, you would be able to interweave a narrative between all 5 and somehow bring them all together, because they're just ambiguous enough. They're created just ambiguous enough for you to kind of create. It's this interactive, choose your own adventure type conspiracy type game that's gone mainstream. You see it now with the one movie a few weeks ago was that Sound of Freedom and everything. You see the people. I don't think the people that are into that, as the hardcore into that, they're more like the baby truther types that aren't into like the full nuance of it all, that these things are created for that. It's basically all the things you see people doing. If you see the movie being sabotaged, quote unquote, it's just like it's like a viral marketing campaign using reverse psychology, because the conservatives seem to fall more for reverse psychology. The same way with Donald Trump, the media just pretend they're against him. They're broadcasting his message in his face 24/7, but they pretend they're against him. And they know the conservative doesn't believe in the mainstream media, so then the conservative will go out and vote for Donald Trump, if the vote's even real, you know what I mean? But so it's basically to mass manufacture public opinion, these conspiracy type things. It's not just one thing always, right? There's so many different things. Manufacture like almost like schizophrenic type, whatever the schizophrenic brain connections are, they want to kind of exercise that muscle in your brain and create like this, basically like mental illness, like I said, and for the people that are like super into it, right? Like you get obsessed with all the information, and then you're willing to believe, oh, not only just flat earth, it goes into like infinite plane, or like all, I don't know the name of the other disc, the other theory where it's like infinite, like little puddles in the, like the Swiss cheese map basically, and we're at the center, and there's other like little puddles or whatever that are like other entire worlds, and there's like hundreds of them. I forget the name of that theory or whatever, but crater earth and all that, you just become primed to be groomed by all these other people that are out in these truther spheres and stuff, like people like specifically like archaics, right? People that are, it's a perfect grift for like archaics. And that's why I like to talk about the prison to YouTube pipeline, because these are the type of people that are going to thrive out here, because it's just people like addicted to the information. All they want is the drip feed truther. They just want to hear data dumps. They just, doesn't matter, right? They just want constantly input, download. They want to understand. They want to memorize something that they can go and like regurgitate to someone else first before someone else finds it out, and then they can go to their friends or their peer group and say this thing. And the last thing I'll touch on is that I feel like the truther community, quote unquote, thing is, that's really largely what it's based on, is there's like a community behind it. So you might feel outcast from your family, and you find out a few things are fake, and you end up down these rabbit holes, and then all of a sudden you're in a Telegram group or something about people that all believe that all mountains are melted buildings or something like that. Like, it just gets so far out of control so fast, and then you find the comfort of the community of people that will hear you talk about this outlandish stuff. But then a lot of these people never take the next step and never leave the echo chamber of where they're at. And so specifically, I'm not talking about the people here. Yeah, gnosis. Teddy Spaghetti says, yeah, it's all like gnosis shit, right? Like you, and a lot of it is, you just have to know this knowledge. If you know this knowledge, that's enough to it. You don't really need to work on yourself or anything like that. That's what it seems to me when I see these, like the how mainstream it's gotten. And that's why I've been riding with EBT for a long time. I can't speak for him, but for me, myself, I'll say I probably believed in every conspiracy there is, at least for like a little bit, right? Like you immediately, there's like a little bit to it, right? That you can latch onto. And so I've believed it, and then I'll be able to like get out of it. But some people don't really get out of them all. And if you watch some of the EBT and I's earlier streams, like we were into like Tartaria and stuff like I don't know if I would say we were 100% believers in Tartaria, but we were like exploring it and stuff like that. And before you just get to the point where it's just like, okay, this is ridiculous. And we were talking about Mandela effect and all these other, like there's so many of them at this point, and it's trauma bonding. Yeah, there we go. What's up, Jessica? Good to see you. Auto flush theory stays defeated. Toilet bowl. Yeah, and then the last thing I want to say is that, so to me, the reason why I said you could take 100 conspiracies, put them on the board, throw a dart, weave a narrative between 5 of them, because I believe they're ambiguous enough. What I believe a big part of it is, not the only part, because it's always multifaceted. A giant part of it is to what I call, give me the credit on this one. I coined the term that these are like digital Rorschach tests. So they're just vague enough where you could kind of pin them to this group of people or this certain person or this, whatever, and even weave them in with other conspiracies and stories. So I'm saying these conspiracies are like digital Rorschach tests for you, for big data to kind of harvest your thoughts and see where you're at in the, kind of Q sorting. It's literally called Q sorting. It has nothing to do with QAnon or anything like that. But if you look up the term Q sorting, it's kind of like asking you the same question multiple ways to see where your beliefs are and stuff like that. And that's what I think they're Q sorting people and building digital profiles on people. And data is king now. The new nation states are just the data corporations, basically. And all power is from the data. And I do think that almost everything truthers say is going to happen to humanity. I think most of it's already happened in one form or another. They say they want to transform human beings. They want to make a transhumanist society and stuff, right? Like, I think it's already happened. If you look at the pictures, I should pull it up right now. Look at pictures of the beaches from the 1960s and 70s. Everyone was slim and fit. I went to a museum today. There was I think it was maybe the 30s pictures I was seeing of the beach. And there was one guy that probably would have been considered fat then. And he was just like, he was what you'd call like a skinny fat guy today. Like he had a slight bit of muscle on him and just like barely a belly. And he just wasn't really like toned up top. And I bet everyone back then thought he was fat. And now it's just like land whales on the beach. And so the human being has been transformed through the diet and through the sedentary lifestyle, through the internet, through all the devices they've brought to you, and they've transformed you literally. Anything you can think of that they say is going to happen to the human being, like the globalist agenda is to do this to the human being. They want to upload your consciousness onto the computer. Well, it's already there, right? Like a stated goal of Facebook is they want to create a digital avatar of, let's say, your grandma or something. So when your grandma passes away, you could still log in and communicate and have an AI chat bot with your grandma. Well, that's almost already happened. If I were to pass away, God forbid I was to pass away tomorrow, my daughters or my sons, they could get on the computer, and there's hundreds of videos of me that I've uploaded. They could at least spend some time with me and hear me and see me and have a, it's not a two-way interaction, but it's somewhat there. It's already happened for most of us, uploading this content and stuff like that. You have almost interactive content online. And so it's not a large leap to say that they'll be able to have a fake Drew out here, right? Like, come out and just basically do what I do, and whenever you want, just press a button for future generations or whatever, if they ever want to see that. Anything, really. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambled on for a while. Sorry. I did want to do an open panel and see if anyone had any thoughts on these types of ideas. Like, yeah, now my computer's being so slow, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get you guys the link. It's just, I'm clicking and it's taking forever. It'll be in the chat in a minute here. If you want to talk about any of this, how trutherism has gone mainstream, I call it trutherism, right? It has nothing to do with truth anymore. It's just it's like an interactive game at this point, like an quality game that you participate in. If you want to talk about that, if you want to talk about how these things sort of, maybe not in the final way that you think, but a lot of these things have already come to fruition, or anything really, feel free to click that link. I just threw the link in the chat. I don't think the mods can pin it, so if you can give me 1 minute here, I gotta pull up the stream. Yeah, when I like switch tabs or something, it just goes so slow. I'm on a okay. Then this is the ghost of Davy Crocco. I think the ghost. Shout out to Davy Crocco, man. Rest in peace, Davy Crocco. We miss you. Davy nuked my computer. I think I was doing fine. Davy passed away, and now I'm having the computer problems. Yeah, I can't even, like, I'm switching this panel and pin this. It's just taking forever now. I have like super fast internet. This shouldn't be taking long at all. But it's also the device. But the reason I brought up Crocco is because he always, of course, famously had massive computer problems. And this exact Chromebook I'm on now, I went to BJ's one day and it was on sale for like $80. And I said, dude, I'm gonna buy this Chromebook for Crocco, and I was gonna do like a fundraiser where we could raise the $80 plus the cost of shipping, and I was gonna ship it to him. And when I kind of mentioned it to him, he got really like weirded out, and he was kind of like he didn't want to be treated like a cheap case, you know what I mean? Which I respect that, but I was totally gonna send. That was the whole purpose of buying this MacBook or this Chromebook, is I was gonna send it to him and tell him you do just something like that, right? Yeah, it's like not even loading the page. Hold on a second. Now I Davy Crocco now. I've inherited the ghosts of Davy Crocco's tech gremlins. All I'm trying to do is pin this link, so I don't have to keep throwing it out. So bear with me for one more moment, guys. This computer I was gonna send to him, and he got mad. And Davy Crocco, man, I was just thinking this the other day. The guy never asked me once for, like, you know, like, oh, can you make me a graphic or mail or anything? Never one time was he like, hey, could you? Because I totally would have did it for him, but I don't really kind of go out of my way to do it. But if he would have asked me, it was just the fact that he never did. He was always, even the people like we made fun of him, we were making for. He liked Adam Green was his stuff. Davey would never talk shit about any of his like friends online, and I think he was just happy to be kind of like having people that weren't trying to like take advantage of him, or just like people that were just trying to be just like genuine friends with him. I think that's what he was looking for. So yeah, rest in peace, Davey. Sad. I'll be pulling the guests up soon. Somebody's in the thing. I pinned it and it worked, and now I click StreamYard and my screen's just black and waiting. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, also started a new job. I haven't been online as much. So 90-day trial, and they're like working me extra hard, switching my days off, working me long stretches of days. You know, they're still kicking the tires or whatever, trying to make sure I'm gonna be reliable and stuff like that. So that's another reason I really haven't been on. So I can make them 90 days. So there's somebody in the stream here. Let me see the sharing screen, if that maybe that will cure all this. There's somebody in the basement here. I can't see who it is. Oh, it's Cecil.
Sup?
What up?
No sound, DBT.
No sound?
Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
No.
Sorry. The lag, bro.
Say, Drew, they usually have like a computer recycling place.
What's up, boy?
you can buy used computers from. That's probably where you got
Man,
that.
you sound like you underwater, far away, or something.
Who that?
A little better, a little better.
I think there's a lag going. Do you hear Cecil?
I don't even see him. Do you see him? His
Yeah,
wheels just spinning.
I see it. He's right.
For me, he's in the middle.
Right
It's
in
a
the middle of
black
the screen. Yeah, I see.
It's a black screen, and it's just a wheel spinning for me.
This is Cecil right now.
Sorry, Cecil, but you're a black spinning screen for me, dude. Let me close these other tabs, man. This thing's about to blow up, dude. I have 4 tabs open. Dude, on my phone, I got to 99 tabs. I realized on my phone. I opened one more, and it just creates like a little smiley face. It doesn't even have a number anymore.
That's
retarded.
like 2026, bro.
Oh, really? I'm way behind the times, or what?
No. You know what I do now on my phone is I add the thing that I want to keep looking at to the home screen, and then I have like 6,000 home screens that I never ever look at again. That's my new tabs.
And see, you guys you see and hear Cecil. I don't see him or hear him. He's just spinning, bro. It's just the wheel that's spinning for me.
I see him.
I don't see him. It's a black screen, man.
I see every wrinkle in the motherfucker's forehead.
Fuck yeah. My
Yo,
forehead.
Cecil, my bad. I don't see you. You're not compatible with Chromebook for some reason.
Fuck Chromebook. Maybe because I'm on the phone.
Maybe you need an update or something. Shit.
I just updated the whole OS.
Maybe the problem is that you updated the whole OS.
Yeah, I think that is the problem.
Just quickly turning it into a Jim Bob stream. It's just going to be all tech issues.
Just boomer tech issues.
Boomer tech issues.
Where's my guitar? Hold on a second.
Yeah, maybe we can play some music and get over it. How about some of that Minnesota rap shit, right?
What's up, Big Meow? Yeah,
nigga.
Minnesota got some killers.
What's up,
no, I see toilet bowl. Cecil, can you go like audio only? Maybe can you like turn off your camera?
Let me see.
Maybe that would fix it for me because I can't. It's still just spinning for me. It's a black, but I see toilet bowl Earth instantly.
Can you hear me now?
Cecil.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Let me
I still don't hear him, bro.
Let me leave and come.
One hell of a grift you're running. There's not a single fucking super chat yet either. So
I know, bro. Well, what? Yeah, what's up with? How do these other guys like Andrew and all these people? They'll just be the super chats are flying in, bro. Like Jim Bob.
Well, even on that Devin Maggi shit talk stream, he made like $600 on that.
You know he's gonna do Aphrodite next.
Well, he was supposed to do one on Monday. I don't know if he did one or not, or what. I feel like he's probably gonna do Aphrodite. I'm kind of wondering if maybe he's gonna do one of us for the lunatics on the internet.
Dude, he can't fuck with us, dude.
Maybe EBT. I don't know.
See, the problem is we're just too far ahead of the game, and then all the chat in here too. So you guys are wise people. That's why the super chats aren't coming in because
that's right.
Because a fool and their money are parted quickly, right? No fools in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Cecil's trying to come in again. Toilet Bowl Earth, is he talking too? Because I don't hear him either. I see him.
No, he ain't said shit yet. I just see he's got some new meme as his thing.
He's like breathing.
Can you hear me now?
Now I hear you, Cecil. Thank goodness.
What's up, nigga?
Jeez.
What's up?
What's up, my Yakubian fam?
What's up, TBE?
Shit, man.
You sound loud as fuck to me.
Because
who knows? It could just be me.
I got the phone like right next to my mouth and shit.
Nigga sounds like he's falling asleep in the bed right now.
Sound like Primal Jihad, bro.
I ain't no damn fucking primal jihad, man. Come on now. That shit wasn't even funny. That's not even my type of humor. Y'all should know better. Come on, y'all.
I don't know.
What's
I have
up,
my
Cecil?
doubts.
Not a whole lot, man.
We might have to move this to your channel, EBT. I can't. Like the computer's gonna explode. I think if one more person joins.
Yeah.
Davey Crocco's
not
ghost.
going too well.
It'll definitely explode if Machine Lies gets in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, bro.
yeah. Muslim joke. Damn. In case you guys missed it.
Brown on brown crime, nigga.
Shit, I think my gooch is shrinking now or something like that.
That means
Dude.
you're gay.
Are you transitioning, bro?
I think so, yeah.
There he is.
Oh shit, it's about to go off.
What's up with Allah and his 6-year-old wife, bro? What's up with that?
You're gonna hit this dude with some like basic ass bitch apologetics. Some Reddit level apologetics. Is that what you're gonna hit him with?
Oh, here comes the ecumenist EBT to cool everything down. Guys, it's all good. We all worship the same God. Nostra Aetate, bro. In my encyclical, bro. Oh.
Bro, you're so loud.
Yo, sorry, man. I'll put the phone. I'm like, it's on my pillow. I'm tired, man. This is Georgia's sun, man. It's like the second sun out here. There's like 3 suns in Georgia.
The sun simulator, bro.
There's like 3 suns in here. It's like a terrarium, man. Fucking suck out all your energy and all the 5G fucking towers everywhere, man. Fucking
shit.
Zapped, bro.
I'm making a thumbnail so we can move it to my channel if we have to. So go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
I'll start trying to redirect it to you now because it'll probably take me 20 minutes for my tabs to do that.
I haven't even started yet. I don't know how you can do that.
Well, when I open a tab, it's like 5 minutes, dude. What's up, Machine Lies? Everyone go subscribe to the Machine Lies.
This is the closest I want to be to this house Negro Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? This is right next to my head right now. I feel like she's about to suck on my blood. Vampire lady right there.
Hey, do y'all know who Tom McDonald is?
Of course, bro.
Shit.
Okay. So, for whatever reason, my homie from high school told me about him like years ago, and I would like kind of follow him loosely. So, I'm on YouTube today, and there's this short of Kamala Harris talking about like population reduction.
I saw that.
You see that? And Tom McDonald's like, doesn't that mean she wants to kill us or some shit? Like,
see, that's exactly what I was talking about. Where these like Republicans, they just kind of troll them slightly like that. Like, obviously she meant pollution, and then they just kind of slip that in there, and then everyone's like, oh, shit, she wants to kill you. Oh shit.
Perfect Goy Jack moment right there.
Just the rage bait.
The truth.
They fall for the same trick every single time. I do like the one video though where Biden's like ready to fight that guy. That's a good one. Biden's like, you're full of shit.
That one. What is that?
Some like union guy like asked them like, hey, you want to like take our guns or something? Yeah. And Biden's like, you're full of shit, Jack, or some shit. Like right in his face. I'm like, damn, this dude's funnier than Trump.
Wasn't that?
I thought you guys were talking about Corn Pop.
Yeah, that's a classic too. A Biden classic. Biden's actually low key funny as hell, dude. I don't think Biden gets enough credit he deserves as a comedian.
He's in some circles. He's Aryan Joe. Like he's like a crypto.
Well, look at all the shit that happened on his watch, right? The Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. It's almost like Trump's the secret president running shit.
Yeah. Conspiracy theory number 457.
That's right.
The chat's talking about Illumitami. Where did he go?
Who cares?
Who cares?
That's what I said. No one gives a fuck.
Who cares?
You guys are falling for his. This is exactly what he wants. You're falling exactly into his fucking trick.
Yeah.
Did he die? Of course not, dude. He loves himself too much to kill himself or to put himself in that situation.
Maybe he converted to Islam.
Inshallah.
Yeah, go out like a martyr. You know what I'm saying?
All salami and a bacon.
Yeah.
So yeah, before the stream though, I was on Machine Live. So if you guys go back, you can watch that. We were talking about a lot of these these tech issues that he said he's experienced mad like internet and tech issues the last couple of weeks. Has anyone else here had that experience?
I don't know if it's the area that I live in, because I live in kind of a rural area, but a lot of the time when I try, like I'll be on YouTube, have it running or whatever all day, but the moment I try to get up on a panel, like my internet will just die, and I gotta go through and like clear out all my cookies, restart my phone. That's why a lot of the times when I try to get on the panel, I'll try to get up on the panel, and it seems like I'm trying to get through. And I have like trouble getting through, and then I disappear for a few minutes and come back. It's because of that. But that just might be because I'm in the area that I live in.
I noticed that Bluetooth has been weird the last several days, like weird and glitchy. I don't know. Like I could try different devices, but they're all be weird and glitchy.
No internet issues for you though, E?
The other day we woke up and like all our phones didn't work and the house internet was down, and like even I went to work and then like my phone connected to the Wi-Fi at work, and even then it wasn't working. And like there was a day where like for most of the day like shit wasn't working. I don't know what it was.
It's AI gang stalking, bro. It's coming for you, man. It's coming for us all.
Yeah,
And there wasn't any reported outages or anything. It was strange. Like everybody I knew around me was having issues, but there was no like reason for it.
I think they're gonna start running tests like on how like infrastructural tests, because one thing that people don't understand is like they already reached peak oil. All that shit about them reaching peak oil is just bullshit, because they already done reach peak oil. That means they're producing I mean they're consuming more oil than they can produce. So since the world economy knows this, they're gonna have to start totally resetting the infrastructure. That's why you hear about them resetting all the infrastructure and all that stuff, and you hear increased talk about environmentalism. And they're gonna start pushing environmentalism, and they're gonna even have I would presume they'd have structural failures like how they did with the railroads and shit, where chemical explosions happen and stuff, and there's biological disasters and shit, all sorts of crowding issues, that they're going to use advanced technology to solve these issues, or smart technologies to then solve these issues. So they're going to say, well, there's all these problems with infrastructure. The only thing we can do is to introduce smart technologies on a larger scale, introduce AI systems on a larger scale.
Yeah, the Internet of Things.
To solve these problems. And you already see them talking about that shit. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they just started taking out the power for a while and seeing how people react once those systems, so that when they do have to restructure the grid system and stuff, and they try to put the new smart technology up, when the shit goes out like 2 or 3 times, they know what to do when people start freaking out when they can't put the shit up for the first time. So they're already testing what to do when they put the big other system in place, just in case it gets hijacked. They put the fail safes in place, and just in case those don't work, they put in place secondary measures to where if the lights go out, we still have some semblance of law and order and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a slow shit, where I feel like they're definitely gonna start taking the power out, in key places. they already do this in third world countries and shit. They do load shedding, where like
that's
No, they do it in California.
California, yeah, rolling blackouts and shit.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to put a caveat on that because I do agree with you, maybe even specifically on the reaching peak oil. Now, a lot of truthers are going to say, well, oil is a renewable resource or whatever, but really that doesn't matter because it still has to be harvested one way or another. So the demand can't exceed the supply, regardless whether or not it's a renewable resource or not. That's just the position where we're at, where we can no longer supply enough of it to meet demand. It has nothing to do with whether or not it's a renewable resource or not.
Jimbo,
What up?
Hey guys,
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
EBT. Do you have a professional lighting system, or you just have good bones or something?
I got a 2-pack of lights at the old Walmart. They got $30. You can get 2 professional streaming lights there at the Walmart.
Nice.
Tripods, all that shit. Yeah. I'm also a very attractive man, though. I mean, that helps as well.
So what happened? What happened, Drew? You got your computer died or what?
Blew up. Yeah, I don't know what. I didn't upgrade to Windows 11. I think so. They just bricked me. I think it just doesn't power on. Nothing.
I tried to reverse Windows 11 because I heard all this shit about it. And people were like,
"Can't see it. Focus.
Go back to Windows 10." But who knows?
Okay, EBT, do you have that stream published?
No, I don't. No,
okay, because I'm looking for it and I don't have it. I don't know what happened, man. My computer
let me do the work. Jesus.
It's the power supply fucked up. So I don't know if it's worth spending $200 on a proprietary power supply to fix a $500 computer.
Well, it's like Jim Bob switched from Mac to PC, and then it was like weeks of just pain in the ass shit every day.
However, a PC dude did say after the 6 weeks of just hell, once you get everything set, it's glorious. So it's been almost that. I'm almost there, but there's always something.
I was watching your stream today. What were you talking about? Because I was going to call in, but the kids were just being wild.
What the fuck?
I can't remember. I had something I was going to say.
I was just running the mill. I was talking about Aubrey Marcus and all his, the whole On It tribe of people who are pushing psychedelics as the new alternative pharmaceuticals. That's why they're in like tension with the big conglomerates pharmaceuticals because they want in, I think, the Joe Rogans and all those guys. And then I just got bored of it. And then I had animated Jordan Peterson step in and take over the analysis for me.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, Matthew North had a video, Joe Rogan Exposed, where he talked about Esalen Institute. It's one of the greatest videos I've ever seen, where he talked about Esalen Institute. He actually mentioned Henry A. Murray working for Esalen Institute, which was the same doctor that inducted the Unabomber into the MK Ultra study. So they had all these behavioral dudes working at the Esalen Institute. It's a fascinating, and then actually Michael Murphy, I think his name is Michael Murphy, who started the Esalen Institute. He's not only mentioned in the fucking Adam Curtis documentary, he's like in the Adam Curtis documentary, Century of the Self, and he talks about like all this shit. But he influenced the fucking the Michael Aquino guy who like started the PSYOP shit. He wrote the book Mind Wars, or something like that. I think it's called Mind Wars by Michael A. Aquino. He worked with Paul Vallely and shit.
Yeah, Dennis McKenna, what's his name's brother, and the MAPS Institute, the multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelics or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and they all they all are connected in ways. The Esalen Institute and all those things, and it's not an accident. The kinds of people that get on Joe Rogan habitually, even who's that whiny Duncan Trussell. I took the piss out of him a couple weeks ago, but perfect spokesperson, right?
Yeah, that Terrence McKenna and Duncan Trussell, they're actually Gnostics. They're actually openly Gnostic. They actually openly avow to a Gnostic cosmology and shit like that. They actually talk about, you know, Duncan Trussell. You know, I used to listen to Duncan Trussell Family. I was a very talented showrunner there. And he opens his show saying that everybody's just in a meat suit,
right?
You know, that we're just going through life in these meat suits, and it's like you know, skin bags and shit like that, and you know that you know, they teach simulation theory, which is fantastical, because how can you compare the world to something that we created? You know, nature created the mind, and then the mind created a computer. So how is nature like a fucking computer? You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't compare nature to man's own creations. You know what I'm saying? That's backwards. That's like Paley's clock type of shit. You know?
Yeah, yeah. We model after nature at best, but we can't even really replicate it at all. But yeah, that I figured that he didn't really say explicitly Gnostic, but yeah, I would just, that sounds about right then. That makes sense now. I thought he was just kind of new age and just borrowing shit, but I didn't know he was actively like an outspoken Gnosty boy, I call him.
And transhumanists. They're openly transhumanists as well. They'll have Singularity University and shit. They'll promote people from Singularity University. You know, which if people don't know, that's Ray Kurzweil's school, like AI school or whatever. You know, I don't know if they're responsible for one of the AI systems, but I'm pretty sure they're responsible for like open AI, or like one of those AI systems actually comes from Singularity University or some shit like that. But yeah, Kurzweil wrote The Age of Spiritual Machines. He's an Ashkenazi Jew, and he's extremely proficient at explaining transhumanism. You know, they made a Johnny Depp movie about him.
And known best for his synthesizer that he made, the Kurzweil synth, which is a classic.
What is that about?
The synth. He made the synthesizer.
The music. Yeah, the keyboard shit. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, the keyboard. Yeah, he made a music instrument. I got this right here. You know, pre-Sonus.
What is that? An M box? Is that an M box?
It's an audio box.
Is that the M1?
Yeah, this motherfucker.
Not the red one though.
I don't even know. I opened it up. You know, let me get the one I broke, because it's actually interesting how it looks on the inside. You know.
Let's get some real shit out. Let's pull some real shit out. Hold on. Gotta disconnect some cords here.
Oh wow, you really got in there, huh? Oh, what's that?
Yeah, the
RME Babyface Pro.
Is that is that like vintage?
There's a newer model, but this is maybe like 6 years old.
Oh, okay, it's fair new then. Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All kinds of hookups.
Whole little city in there. You know, if you look, it's like
look at that shit.
Computer chips and shit.
Circuit board Earth.
Just to get two microphones synced into one device, so that when two motherfuckers are talking, you can hear them both through one USB. That's what the fuck. That's what the fuck this thing does, and that's how many hookups it's got. I mean, it's just fascinating. That's how much shit goes into just making it do that. It's like such a small thing, you know. Get two people to talk at the same time. That's all I wanted to do, and this is what it takes to do that shit, motherfuckers.
Well, to make it sound good, you could have the laptop mic, but it would sound like shit.
Yeah, but who could recreate this or tell me what the fuck these are? You know, few people really. You know,
hey, Drew and EBT, can you give me a short summary of how you guys like gathered digitally? How you met?
Twin flames.
They were being shills for a while, and they were like, "Let's shill together."
We're part of a Catholic Church think tank.
Oh, right, yeah, like Project for a New American Catholicism.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want the story, how we met, how we got together,
Tinder.
I was looking for methamphetamines. Drew was on Grinder. I mean,
so we met Tommy together.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, Drew. I started on Instagram. I the first time I wanted to get on the internet really and kind of be make any kind of content was because I was seeing this rise of retardation in like the truther community. Primarily like people that were fanboying for Elon Musk and then Trump tards and QAnon, all this kind of shit. And that's kind of what my name was about, is because like I kind of felt like these people were enslaved by their conception of whatever truth was, and that's kind of why I came onto but I came onto Instagram, and then I stumbled upon Drew here. Drew used to do a show like every full moon. He would do a show.
Drew.
And
that hater dude, there's this hater dude that has my first ever show here on YouTube. Somehow he got it and he uploaded it.
Are you being like like hyperbolic, or he actually did a full moon show?
No, this is factual. Yeah, this is
for real. I would live stream every full moon, so like once a month.
You dated Aphrodite?
No, she wishes.
Well,
she was selling. She was selling
she sold you guys your meth. Yeah.
No, what is the subscription service called? That's like you can put shit behind a paywall, Patreon or some shit.
Patreon, yeah.
She was selling some Patreon where she had like supposed DM receipts from me or something. I don't think anyone ever bought it though.
Nice. So wow, a full moon show. So you were. Was that for any reason or just kind of fun because it's like,
I don't think that I think it was just more the novelty. It wasn't really.
Well, I think the first live stream on IG I saw from Chalk was reading through the Egyptian Book of the Dead, at least going through pictures of it on a full moon. And I do believe I was the only person in the chat there.
Correct. It was one person. It's kind of hard to keep going as one person. And
then we hit it off, and then it was like we found love, and we were frolicking through meadows and all that.
Well, kind of stuff. If you want to get like you want to get conspiratorial, I think didn't we live on the same like latitude line or some shit like that?
No, you're a little bit.
Come on, man. Wait, you're ruining
run the numbers.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, there was some weird connections because Fermilab shoots particles and they go directly through where your location was up into South Dakota. That was one of the early conspiracies there. But no, I mean Chicago and Minneapolis, they're like a little bit different.
Same thing.
I don't know, but if you account for curvature, I don't know. Maybe perhaps it's in the same.
I started wanting to do more regular podcast type thing, and then I asked everyone, like a bunch of people online and people I knew in real life, and nobody said yes except for this guy. Nice. Unfortunately for me. And then
assigned as his Jesuit handler. That's
right.
What the was.
So this is the one and only guy.
Came up with his really dope name.
Jesuit handler.
That's true. And then after we decided we were going to do a show, there was this thing back in that time called onthewakeupradio.com, and they had all kinds of different like podcasts, and they would get them like guests like Max Egan and stuff. They would like produce your show for you and everything. And they contacted me, or the woman behind it contacted me and wanted me to do something with them. And I asked if it could be with EBT, and she was like, no, she wanted it to be with some other guy. I've never even talked to her or met her or anything. And I was just like, I don't think so. I was like, I'll just ride with EBT.
She said, yeah, but you'd have to have this other guy.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, we were like,
because I don't even know who this guy is.
Shows with Jackson, like the first one I did on the Wake Up was with Jackson, and that other guy that Jackson used to be with, and
the secret space program guy.
Yeah, the secret space program guy, and the Anunnaki guy, and all that shit. And then so like he had never. I remember the first episode, like the dude like had never like thought that maybe space was fake and all this shit. And then me and Jackson started talking about it, and he was like, I don't even know if I know you people anymore. Like,
Blew his fucking
I
mind.
can't
Blew his
associate
gourd.
with you. You mean there's not a secret space program?
Dude, wait till you understand there's no space. What?
Yeah, blew his mind, but that was funny. But there was, and on the Wake Up Radio, the show that we used to go on often was ran by Ray and what the fuck
KB
was her name?
Visions.
KB Visions. And Ray was one of the biggest guys in Blood Over Intent for sure on Instagram. They had, and this is something that maybe wasn't even touched upon in Andrew's little thing about it, but like there was never really a cult of Blood Over Intent. There was all these little sects within Blood Over Intent, and Ray was one of the biggest ones in that group in movement. But he was
that Ray guy. Real quick side note: Ray, that guy was way ahead of his time. So his name was Mind Virus or something.
Cure the Mind
Cure
Virus.
the Mind Virus, and he would come on a stream wearing a mask
with
in
the
like
surgical mask.
2016, 2017 or something like that.
Do you guys know Covert Radio? Do you know what that guy's all about?
Never heard of it.
No. Okay. Just wondering.
I feel like I've heard it, but
Vic Meow asked if we've met it IRL. No.
There's
You guys want to crowdfund that? We can make it an episode.
There was this one time when Drew came down to Chicago, but he was
here we go.
He was banging some meth broad that still owes him money.
No, don't say that, bro.
He still owes her some money, I think. I don't remember which.
Wait, what?
Okay, it was cocaine. It wasn't meth. It was cocaine. But
no. Well, okay, no, she wasn't. Yeah, it was like a cokehead stripper. Don't make it sound like it was like a nasty meth head or something.
Anyways, they were in a bender, and he was too busy to meet up with EBT, I guess. So
EBT, that one dude, that one lucky DSM guy, is that the same guy that's Cure the Mind Virus?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, Ray,
dude,
lucky DSM, yeah.
Okay, now
he'd cry like every episode. He'd cry eventually at one point.
Yeah, okay. Wasn't he doing? He was doing he was snorting something on a live.
He was doing something
on Instagram.
Yeah, he was definitely doing something.
Or
I do.
Tripping?
No, I remember that he was doing some shit.
I think he was like EBT, and he was like periodic. I remember the conversation you guys were talking about how AI was getting like eyes and ears and through the fucking the cam on the phone. It now has eyes. It could see us now. And I remember him going. He did a line. And it's like you guys kept talking. It was I don't know. Maybe I'm just like hallucinating this or.
No, that's real.
Yeah, no, that was a thing. We had some fire conversations on that stuff, though. Still going back and through them. It sucks because the audio is all terrible. But
yeah, and I have a lot of them saved. And so we were one of the first people, like at least that I saw talking about like QAnon is not real. Like instantly seeing through this and then the idea behind the doing streams together was kind of that this is maybe 2016 or something, or whatever, 2017, that the conspiracies are going to go more and more mainstream.
Yeah, that was kind of like the theme of the whole, pretty much all of our conversations was usually the way that we were seeing how this was playing out, and that's what I saw originally with like Elon and QAnon and all this kind of shit was that this is just grooming conspiracy to become the normal thing,
I think they're gonna try to gamify it in a way. This dude jumped on my stream talking about ARGs, augmented reality games, and how the news, obviously you guys know this, that they can facilitate a narrative, and you have this kind of subculture participating in the narrative as if it's real, but they almost don't care if it's not, because it's almost like a scavenger hunt in a way, and like truther,
100%.
the mix of like the truther stuff and like search for the right information and this kind of stuff, chasing folders as I call it, creates like a sort of like a gamified system. And if you tie that with augmented reality, suddenly think about this, like the news lets out some crazy narrative, and then a bunch of people basically play a game searching for nuggets of truth, right?
33s and
You know, yeah, in reality, but also digitally, like
Waynell
overlapping.
Sexton.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then what they do is they drop more things, and then you think you're figuring stuff out, but the whole time they're just. I think that's what the gematria stuff is. That, you know, Smith is going to have a meltdown, but I think it's people playing games and actually toying with people who actually chase those games down, like Pokemon, except Truther.
Well,
Pokemon.
it's like they are doing that right now, but it's like basically what's added onto it is that once they're done running the scam, then they get like the people who figured out the symbols correctly, and they try to recruit them like into a team and try to like get them to like make more fucking ARGs. So like that's already happening, but like double on the level, because they've already recruited. Like they'll run like a ARG like for Anonymous, and then there'll be a FBI raid on Anonymous, and then Anonymous will start making fake shit, you know, fake hacktivist shit, you know, for them, you know, and like that's basically where we're at with like, you know, so like, you know, if they find a truther movement, they'll recruit the best people in that movement to kind of then make the same kind of shit up,
Like Joe Rogan,
for a larger community. Yeah, because what they'll do is they'll get a couple of their friends and they'll be like, well, you know, we got a couple of your friends in that room, you know, they're not looking too hot. You know, you could either work for us, or you could, you know, continue doing this stuff on a greater level, you know, and we'll actually supply you with, you know, equipment and all this shit, you know,
like
so
like a new
narc.
PC.
so it's like, and that is what the ARGs. You know, I found an ARG that was like,
Yo, who's that? Who the fuck was that?
That was a Kawasaki Ninja.
Yeah, I'm with both of those statements from you two guys, and I think the gamification of it is the YouTube and the or Instagram, wherever you're posting it, the likes, the shares, all that stuff. And I think for almost everyone, I guess I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of people that I talk to about this type of stuff, everyone's entry level to this seemed to be 9/11. So it's almost like you were entered into their little mystery school on 9/11 with the two towers, the two becoming one, and all this, into this Gnostic school, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a never-ending trail of breadcrumbs of, you know, like QOC. One of the greatest things he probably ever talked about was the piston breadcrumbs, right? Like we're following these piston breadcrumbs to achieve this final level of gnosis, which we're never ever going to get to. Like,
Right.
we will never achieve it. Like, and I think it's obvious at this point in time, especially for the people in our age that like live through it as kind of, you know, you know, older in age. You know, most of us were in high school or out of high school when that happened or whatever, saw it happen real time. May have believed it or had doubts that day, and then, but eventually, the way that we perceived it changed or whatever, and we're still wanting answers for that event. And we're just there will never be 9/11 disclosure. Mm-hmm. And if they did disclose it to us, we still wouldn't believe what they disclosed to us. So, right. I mean, like, it's a never ending looping game of gnosis. Like it's the Ouroboros of gnosis, right? We'll never know.
If that's the case, EBT, when Robert F. Kennedy goes on and says the CIA was a part of this, which everyone kind of assumes, but you still get called like a name if you kind of get into it. So if you get a player like that kind of trying to do soft disclosure from his special position, he's kind of in a special position in the family and so forth. What do you think that play is then? Like Robert Kennedy being like, yeah, it's probably CIA. And so if it comes from him, suddenly it's a little more accepted. And then it comes from me or anyone else, you know, I'm a retard. But is that a play? It seems like another breadcrumb you're talking about, where people will latch onto that and be like, I knew it. And then they'll run with that.
I think the final step a lot of people don't take, and I would like Machine Lies, I would like to talk to Dr. Skirbina about this, as well as the actor-based reality concept, that RFK, he's an actor on the stage. The JFK thing is probably CGI. The Zapruder film, it doesn't come out for 2 years after the assassination, or however long, at least a year. There was a substantial time after, and it's obviously it's well curated and what you see and everything. I think people don't take that final leap to say that it's possible that these people are literally actors on a world stage and just.
I would say
Sometimes
they're actors and they don't actually believe in anything. Like that's kind of been my running thesis, is that this is like some kind of sardonic Discordian theater that they pull on us, to where perhaps these events that we focus so much time and energy on are just essentially in a truther way energy harvesting in a sense, or absorbing attention to them to some extent. But it's not necessarily always the event. It's just the zeitgeist that kind of they create, right? But they don't really have any plan necessarily how it's exactly going to play out. And it doesn't even matter to them exactly how it all plays out. But in the end, it's all just kind of a joke, is the way I feel. And I feel like that's part of actor-based reality to me, is that that you're being shown a comedy show. And I think that has been more and more obvious, like with the Biden presidency and and even just Trump, and the way these things are still perpetrated through time. And there's this one thing I always go back to QAnon on, that I've covered for a long time, is the Protocols of Illuminated Sons of the Golden Dawn that came out, that was kind of before QAnon really started, and it was kind of attached to it. But the idea is that the purpose of all of this is to make the general population lose all faith in all media.
Yeah.
So it's obvious that everything is so ridiculous that you can't trust anything that you see at all.
Yeah, then you could really format reality. I thought it was just at first, just lose all faith in justice systems and like basic normative structures and things, which is probably a part of what you're saying, that it's not just that, it's just faith in reality itself, like a totally epistemic nihilistic view where people are just submitting to whatever's presented to them. And, you know, to some people's credit, not to their credit, but it's not their fault, that we mostly live in a digitally presented reality, aside from what we do in our daily life, like our families and stuff. The way we engage, a lot of things could very well be just presented, especially now. I mean, I saw a TV show that was, the premise was these people are messing with couples that are like committed couples, like engaged, and they try to fake the one part half of the couple with deep fake tech that they're cheating. So they're trying to actually fool the person that they're cheating by using really, you know, advanced deep fake tech, where, you know, the chick is making out with someone at a party or something. The guy just can't believe it, but he believes what he's seeing, but he just can't believe it. And that's just a microcosm, right, of like what they've probably already done. I think like every second week, you know, Anderson Cooper is a total CGI or more. Like they could easily sprinkle that in, and it's not like some big planned event. It's little things over time. Like the ordinary truther thinks that there's this big planned event and it's all orchestrated perfectly. And I'm more with EBT on this, that it's, they don't really need to have some big plan or goal. You can do goals, but just to mess with people is a goal enough for a lot of people, especially up there in those like fancy bloodlines. They're bored. Money is nothing, power is nothing, so they have to play a Sims game with human beings. Like that's what they would do.
This is often what we refer to as Project Blue Balls. Is that like all these larger big events that all the conspiracy sphere gets obsessed with, they never come to fruition, and they always just, and it always just leads to the next one, right? And that and it's a perpetual blue balls of fear, of doom that never ever actually happens.
Right around the corner.
But
Yeah.
you're still at the same time, you could be a believer in Project Blue Balls, but still say, well, you know what? I still kind of just want it to happen, though. I still expect there to be something that's gonna there has to be something that's
A
gonna
resolve.
happen.
Yeah.
But the older I get, the further I've gone, years and years of looking into this shit. It's like, was all history like this? Was like all events were really fucking nothing? Like, was World War II really even that big of a deal, or was it the same thing as what we see going on in Ukraine and Russia, right? All we're shown is some kind of media conception of whatever was going on in this event. And then later the history books will write this off as some kind of huge pivotal event in history, when the average individual's experience was really not affected, or it really had no bearing on their life other than this overarching kind of zeitgeist that's being put upon the people, which is only coming to them through media that they're receiving, right? It's not from your own individual perspective that you're getting this any of these ideas, or
No.
you know, it's all something that's being fed to you externally one way or another.
It reminds me of if we think that the elites, whoever they are like very predatory, preying on humans. It reminds me of that line in Jurassic Park where the guy's talking about raptors. He's like, you see them looking straight at you, and you look straight at them, and that's when the attack comes. It doesn't come from the front, but it comes from the side, and they like sideswipe you with all this shit that you didn't even know that was happening. Like they're putting on a show while they're moving all the pieces behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to keep you looking forward. And like if you look at this whole like UFO stuff and all this other weird stuff, it's like they're basically already disclosed that they're basically already said there's aliens here and there's all this tech here, and like they've already admitted it on one frame, right? But then they're framing it to like just what you guys were saying, like the make it seem like, oh, it is the CIA, it is all this, and it's like they're sideswiping you every time with just new levels. Like you said, we've been inducted into this cult, and most people don't even think on that level, but we're starting to see it, and then they don't even care that we see it. That's the weird part. Like they don't even care that we kind of see what's going on.
Oh yeah, you just get gaslit when you are able to see it.
Yeah, my favorite conspiracy joke is the Guidestones. People were goy-jacking about that on Instagram for the longest time, about memes about it, and then they just blew it up.
And then never talked about it again.
Got memory hold.
Yeah.
But what Neurojack is saying is something that I also like to bring up too, is like, is this being something that's being perpetrated by these elites, or are these so-called elites just so incompetent that these follies just lead into more follies, and like none of it is actually really planned out that way? It's really just, the folly of man eventually, right? Like,
unless there's a demonic element that you truly believe can help glue it together, like that's like if all the numerology stuff, like if I granted a bunch of the synchronicities that are just unjustified by coincidence, I could basically consider that, like, if there's a demonic element that organizes, then only parts of this would be folly, and the rest would just kind of maintain itself, right, with the desires of men to manage and control the material realm. And so you would see, that's what you would see, right? That would still be consistent. But then again, people are so incompetent. I mean, look at our technology. I mean, we're all just complaining about how our tech fails, and our tech fails. All of our planning fails, and yet we're presenting these elite group of people. They're capable of planning to the day, to the hour, to the minute. Not only that, but having all their symbology work out perfectly, and numerology and names and so forth. And we're like, we can't even plan a trip to the grocery store and have it go well, like tomorrow. Like something happens and we're like, oh shit, the thing broke and it was a whole pain in the ass. Like, this doesn't occur at the higher level. They just have no problems. That's where I kind of started exiting the whole. I know there's groups of people out there and they're just so good at XYZ and they just perform it every single time. That just can't be the case based on my experience, at least.
Unless the shit never happens and they just tell you it
Right. Yeah.
They can just say, yeah, this event happened today, and you just got to believe them.
Right.
That ties back into actor-based reality, and that's kind of where we started to take the departure too. And there's even a lot of people that were early on with us that were, often contributors to the chat and stuff that were big into gematria and all this stuff, where they would just make random connections based on random ciphers somehow, just because this word has the same numerical value, whether it's even in the same cipher or not. Somehow that means there's a connection between these words. But eventually, everybody has to step back and say, well, okay, so like Smith, where's Smith at tonight? 6079 Smith's not in here tonight, right? But at the end of the day, is Michael Jordan a real person? Is Kobe Bryant a real person? How were these events planned out to this numeric perfection? What would be the purpose of that? Are we going to say that he's a real person? He's a controlled, or are they controlling this narrative? Or even perhaps it's based on just the way that we use numbers in our system? Or is this perhaps some kind of, or is this metaphysical? Like, is these things just happening and there's no way for us to perceive it any other way? That's where you get into the question. Is this some kind of revelation, or is it a demonic prelest? Like, what exactly is this that we're experiencing? And this is why I do entertain guys like Smith, because like he can come up and spew out connections that are essentially undeniable, right? Like he could say that this date to this date is this number and this number, yada, 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 these weird connections with these different figures, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, still, what does any of that matter, right? Like, and that's the question that nobody really can answer in the truther sphere. There is no reason why any of that matters, why it connects. And then often they'll go to Satan or Lilith or bugs or something. I'm talking to you, Land of the Blinded, right now. but it's like, but at the same time, they'll reject the entire theology and religion that kind of gave them those concepts in the beginning anyway. So what are you guys talking about? Because to me, if I'm not going to be Christian, the Bible means nothing to me. I don't give it. It's just a fucking book to me if I'm not Christian, right? Same thing. Like the Quran is just a fucking book. It has no bearing on reality to me, if I'm being honest in my position, right? As a full-fledged skeptic or truther or whatever. I'm not going to just pick out pieces from other things and then attach my importance to each one of these little individual pieces. That's not being honest to reality and not being honest to myself. That's kind of where personally I kind of tried to set back into where we just started kind of just making fun of this whole thing in general. And I feel like that's probably the best position, to be honest. But
yeah, and I think that's an important place to come at it from, because there's a lot of because the problem is epistemology, as Jim Bob and them talk about sometimes, in the debate circle, but really it's a philosophical category. It's a way that you deal with philosophy, and epistemology is basically, how do you reach knowledge? So I mean, if you say like hoaxes are real, so that's a true statement, like motherfuckers do trick people, but like we have to figure out like on what end the deception goes, because everybody has incomplete truth. Now with science, if you go the scientific way, you'll always have incomplete truth, because no matter how much truth you get, you can always have more, because because you're never done experimenting, and progress is always incomplete, so you could always progress to a newer stage. But from a conspiracy level, it goes backwards, because the more information you have towards a truth that you already believe, the more it appears real to you. So like like the closer you could get, so you could swing both ways. Either you get more and more information and you become more skeptical, or you say the more and more information comes in, you say, oh well, that's confirmation that the truth is actually out there. So you could go either fucking way you want with it, and that's the problem, is that, and that's why in a famous work by William James, The Will to Believe, he says, I rather have risk of error than loss of truth. Meaning, I'd rather keep my options open in terms of what the fuck is going on out there, because just because I have incomplete information doesn't mean that the truth isn't still out there. So I shouldn't abandon objective truth just because I have incomplete fucking information about shit. You know what I'm saying, right? So he said skepticism is completely untenable, because like like once you get to complete skepticism, you have to really doubt everything. You know what I'm saying? You have to doubt truth itself, instead of the fact that you may be making an error in seeking the truth. You know what I mean? Which is a much simpler conclusion to come to. But anyways, I don't know if I connected with anything there. But shit.
I mean, you said stuff. It sounded dope. Sounded dope. That's the same way when I ramble and I get done. I'm like, did I really actually even fucking say anything, or is it?
Well, what made me think about it is
I'm not saying you're rambling. That's not what I meant. But
yeah, no, I might have been, but it's like with Freeman Dyson, I was reading like how he's like there's a difference between theories and models. So like a theory is like when you like build up information towards explaining something with like formulas and like facts and shit, and you build up you put as much information as you can into the hypothesis and shit. But a model is different. It's like a complete explanation of what the fuck is going on. So there's certain conspiracies that are like models. Like flat Earth is like a model. It's like a total explanation of like cosmology and what the fuck's going on.
It's coherent. It's
coherent.
It's
like religion. It's like you could use it to basically question any other system. Like Marxism is a model. Like once you like adhere to Marxist thinking, you can bring into question all other forms of learning. So it's architectonic in that way. It's truly architectonic. But like a theory is like you could pile as much information into a fucking theory as you want, and it'll never get better in terms of predictability, because at the end of the day, it's just going to be on a theoretical level. So, like theories are not complete explanations. That's why they're called theories. Models are complete explanations, but to be a model, you have to leave out significant portions of reality. So like like a model is like a map. Like you can't show everything in a fucking map, or else you'd have a map the size of reality itself. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's like how we see things online. It's like online is a representation. See, the online world is like a model of the real world. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like a fact, but and in it there's theories about how the world works. Conspiracy theories and shit. Now hoaxes are real. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get some semblance of like like where like there's some truth in some of this shit, but like let's not get fucking carried away. About
right, and the inherent contradiction. That's right. Just in that statement. Yeah.
All right, man. All right.
But yeah, like you're saying, it's like a coherent. Like if I'm presupposing that flat Earth is my worldview, then that therefore gives me justification that reptilian elite Jew 13 families run the world, because based on my presupposition of flat Earth, right? Because I have a coherent worldview. It all makes sense in my coherent worldview. I don't need to provide any evidence or anything for it. I can just use that coherentness within my view to justify it.
Yeah, it's like Alice in Wonderland. It's like you step into a world that makes sense, but it's not real. You know, like everything in the world, like it steps from cause and effect. So you could see how things follow from another thing, but none of it is actually real. You know, and you can conversely think of a world that that is real but doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Right? But but I don't know if that touched anyone.
Or you could exist in a world where perhaps nothing that you actually experience can give you any conception of reality. Right? Kind of like a quasi Kantian kind of way of looking at it.
Yeah, quasi Kantian. Yeah, I like how you put that. Yeah, and that's something I'm getting into is Kant. I think Kant's part of the deception, for real, because like this dude talked about it in his book Fanged Noumena, like how the noumenal realm is like entering into, or whatever shit is fucking. But yeah.
All right. Right on.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat, man.
Do we flush and move to next time? Jim Bob, do you have a professional lighting set up?
Yeah, I think he's at a rave or something.
No, this is just I'm watching my wife play Zelda, so there's a lot of lava.
The new Zelda?
Yeah. No, the old one. I have to catch up. So it's been quite a task.
What's the old one?
Yeah, well, Breath of the Wild.
One.
So we're collecting ancient weapons and stuff.
Get those Korak seeds.
Yep, tons of them. We got the mask, so we're finding them.
I bought that game and I put like 200 hours into it. I was like,
I know.
I'm done with video games. It's over. That was one of the dopest games I ever played.
I'm still playing Vigor. I'm wondering which month or which year things get better.
The fuck is wrong with you guys? What the fuck are you even talking about?
I did Breath of the Wild, and then I did what's the other one? Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, you played that?
The
yeah,
new one.
That looked pretty cool.
Unbelievable, man. I'm like, I can't do it anymore, man.
It does take a lot of life.
Too much, man.
Yeah, it gets a little out of control.
Well, that's where these games are at now, though. It's like you can't just play for 15 minutes. It's like all consuming fucking 100, 200 hour games and shit.
Yeah, the thing is about these new games, they're like, they make them purposely like kind of easy to navigate.
Yeah.
Like when I played the last newest game I played was Destiny 2, and it was pretty much, I mean, it's pretty simple to play. I mean, they pretty much they show you what to shoot at and all that stuff. So I think they do that to keep you going and keep the updating and microtransactions moving, the endless game of upgrades, and it's crazy, man.
I'm surprised that's not in Zelda. Like the fact that there's this massive world. I don't know about the new one, but this one doesn't have this constant opportunity to micro pay for some objects. It's just all exploration and finding shit.
No, but it's also the sequences, because you'll like press A and they'll do a lot of shit. Like it'll just be like a fucking movie with buttons.
Yeah, it's like a full animation.
Like it's all just like sequences and shit.
I mean, people are like really paying to like change their gun to look like, I don't know, like diamonds or pink unicorns and shit. It's fucking weird as fuck.
You're paying real money, and then they sell them. They sell them for real money and shit too. Like you can sell shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
American Trucking Simulator.
I've seen that too. I almost downloaded that actually. I was
like Lot Lizard Simulator.
Dude, I wish
I'm totally into that farming simulator.
The farm one,
that one's good. Yeah.
Your wife leaves you because you get gonorrhea from a lot lizard. That would be a real simulator, dude, right there.
Dude, gangster.
And you just say it was an AI deepfake. So they're just fucking with you, baby.
Yeah. It could be video games could be educational tools, but I mean,
Well, a lot of them are being used as educational tools, particularly
for the AI. That's what Machine Lies and I just had that conversation too. When then, even in like a sporting game, right? Like the AI is learning your patterns and everything and how to defeat you and stuff. And I'm sure that information all goes somewhere, all part of the greater computer brain.
Well, you even see, yeah, I know several of you guys have children, but there's like this code ninja thing. You can send your kids to like coding camp and shit now, coding summer camp and everything, where they can code their own games and everything. It's insane.
Well, I guess that's going to go out the window because once you tell Chat GPT or Chat EBT, whatever you call it, make Angry Birds, like it just does it. I mean, that's going to be ubiquitous. Like that's going to just put such a dent in the private companies who specialize in that. But then it's going to also make a ton of shitty games because ordinary people have access to push button creativity. So it's going to saturate the gaming market when it gets fully fleshed out, because you still need the art and stuff. But the coding, if you can do basic, like what are they called, platform games, and what are they called, a runner game is like a left to right, like Super Mario is a classic platform. Once you have that basic structure and people are just, think of it like this. You remember how Instagram came out with all these filters and like photographers were like, what the fuck? You're mimicking what took me like years to learn how to get this effect. And it's not even just one effect. It's like thousands that you could just do. And the person doesn't care. They don't care if the photographer took their whole life learning this special creative effect. Now just swap that effect with massive like production of gaming. I don't know if we're close to that, but that'll be pretty interesting to watch unfold. I think we're certainly going to be alive to see that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going to do to the general industry.
I always thought coding was going to be kind of a dying kind of profession anyways. I mean, it only makes sense that it would no longer be viable, whether you're working with like, basic stamp stuff or high level programming. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you cannot have a computer do these basic lines of code and stuff. So to me, it's not like, okay, whatever, we lose coding jobs. But at the end of the day, there's still, even if we have AI fucking robots or stuff, there still has to be somebody that physically is involved with the actual mechanics of that robot whatsoever. Yeah. But yeah, coding should go away. I don't think coding should be a fucking job. There should not be radical coders with your fingerless gloves debating on the internet and working from home. Like, it doesn't need to be there. I mean, like, what are you at?
Is that a threat?
You're typing lines of code. Make a computer do that. Come on, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like okay, instead of having like these like corporate buildings in India of all these guys trying to scam grandma out of $3,000, you can just have a couple of hard drives of AI voices and
you can have scam farms,
scam farms just building up money like you're mining for Bitcoin. I mean it's smart, right?
When is someone gonna fake that? Good.
We got Kazumi in the house. It's a big YouTube heavy hitter.
They're gonna fake the cameos pretty soon, right? Because now all the actors out of work, they're like, oh, I guess I'll get on Cameo. They pay like whatever $40 or something to get like, oh, happy birthday to you, Carly. Oh, I heard it's your birthday. I mean, will the person still pay and not give a shit if it's convincingly a fake AI with a decent voice of Morgan Freeman being like, happy birthday? Like, will it matter? Like, that's what I always bring up is like, we're all like pointing this stuff out and be like, oh, that's fake and that's real and it should be real and this is bullshit. I don't think the generation's going to care. Like our kids, they'll just be like, what are you talking about, Dad? Like, you're such a boomer. Nobody cares if it's fake. It doesn't even matter to them that it's real or fake. And that kind of blows my mind, that the distinction that we kind of argue about and make, split hairs about, that's what most of our streams are about, at least in this truther, post-truther little sphere here, is the people just won't care if it's fake. Like, what then? What do you say to them? You're like, oh, dude, that's fake. What are you doing? They're like, I don't care. He's like, it's my special weatherman that was custom made for me. Like, I know it's a computer, but I don't care. It sounds like grandma. I like grandma. It's like, what do you can't battle it. There's not going to be a way to really argue against it.
Well, but that's the thing, is I think we're already there in a way. I mean, like, I remember watching the Miami Heat play the last game of the playoffs many years ago.
That wasn't
I watched
real.
the game. Well, it was like, dude, so many bad calls in the last like couple minutes of the game. It's like, obviously it was rigged, or they should fire that fucking referee. But like, and I point this out, and like everyone's like, I don't care. I'm just watching
Right.
the game, and I love the team. And it's like, you don't care that they're just basically rigging the game for some guy to make billions of dollars, or whatever the reason is. It's like, you just don't care. And
Right.
and one thing you guys said before reminded me, like, I don't know how successful this is going to be, but if you look at a lot of the tech companies, look at Facebook got renamed Meta, and then I watched some local news stories about Mark Zuckerberg on the news, on local news, saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to have all these like headsets for our workers to interact with each other and the data," and they like designed it to not creep out the people using it. They thought of all the ways to make you not creeped out in order to use this technology. So you're sitting in a virtual office having a virtual meeting, looking at each other's gay avatars. It's very bizarre, man. It's like, I don't know how successful it'll be, but I do think it's very odd that they're making like even your work life is going to be like a video game, essentially.
That was like that Black Mirror, where they made that technology for the soldiers not to be creeped out of blowing up a bunch of like innocent people in some bumfuck country. And then the one guy's glitched, and then he started seeing they weren't actually these demonic, weird monster beasts that they were told. It was actually just normal people, like kids and stuff they were killing. It kind of reminds me of that, where, you like, we always think like, you take someone playing what's the most like epic war game now? Is it still Call of Duty? I don't even know. They train these kids how to do like drone bombing and warfare through the video games. And then one day they're using a drone, and it's like a video game, except there's people dying. Now, if you can train someone where their entire career, they think they're not doing real stuff, and they have been for years, is totally doable now. That you could take, little Tyler, oh, you're going to train to, run this like crazy space warfare, system. And it's like a simulation. And you just never tell them when it transitions into reality. And the thing they're controlling from Burbank, California or something is just bombing people. And they don't know it, but it's better for them that they don't know it. So it's like a win-win for the quote, soldier in a polo shirt. That's already doable. So, do you think that's happening because it's doable, or is that a bit too far, you think?
They could be having simulated tank battles over in Ukraine right now. Those tanks could be rigged up to just be controlled by remote control with Xbox controllers, and they could just be killing each other or just blowing up robot tanks up or whatever.
Here's the thing with that, right? Like they could be faking, they could be selling us this entire fake huge scale war right now in Ukraine and Russia, but they're showing us random fucking Chinese drones dropping bombs on tank columns of Russians and shit. Like, nothing that comes out of that is makes me think that there's a full scale military operation going on. And we called this early on when this started. I coined it as Woo Woo 3, because we were just being sown fiction, like with the Ghost of Kiev, right? it was so obvious that that was not actual footage, that it was CGI footage, but yet the entire whether it's alternative or mainstream media ran with the story right off the bat and then had to later on retract it. And this further goes on to what we were talking about earlier. It's about the negation of reality. Like you cannot trust even the alternative media, and you can't trust the mainstream media. All you're left with essentially is your own personal conception of whatever.
All we have is chalk body outline.
Right.
Yeah.
But now he's going to reach 10,000 and everything's going to be into question again, back to the beginning.
And then,
right?
And then I'm blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Yeah, you're going to be like Fox. You're going to be saying Fox News headlines, and
we're going to blame you. We're going to blame you, Jim Bob.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Yeah,
that was the plan all along. You know, that was the plan all along. They were like, we don't want you or EBT guy. We need Drew guy. We tried to get him earlier, so can you boost him up and we'll grab him.
Like, he'll work for cheap now. Get him.
Yeah,
Drew's going to be on InfoWars next week. Watch.
They've been
Move over, Dyer.
on the Bay hashtag.
Yeah. Alex Jones is going to call you and be like, I heard your computer broke.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, look outside. There's a box.
Right.
This is like a
It's not some Chi-Com shit. It's some real good stuff from Texas.
I'll show some super male vitality shit.
No, bro, you got to do chalk.com. Like, what better promo? Like, take it over from Dyer shills for chalk.com. Who better than Chalk Body Outline to shill for chalk.com supplements? Have you tried the Shillegit? Have you tried the Shillegit?
Too legit.
It comes from like the Himalayas and shit. Like, it's obviously gonna fix
Realm Renegade selling
everything
that shit.
that's wrong with you.
Isn't it like black?
Black tar. It's black tar.
Yeah, it's black goo, bro.
Yeah.
It's black goo.
Black goo. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's the runoff from all the street shitters, all the super spiritual street shitters. It's the runoff, and like, because Eastern stuff is way more spiritual and like connected with like the divine and everything.
The open air sewers are your direct connection to the divine.
Sure, buddy.
Oh man, yeah, the Eastern stuff. I used to be a little more new age back in LA, and that's when I had a hand injury. I don't know if you guys knew that. I had a pretty bad, severed my median nerve on my left hand. It was pretty traumatic because I had played guitar for so long, and I couldn't. And my friend was like, "Dude, go to Dr. Goo Goo or whatever." And I was open to it, and, oh, cool. Yeah, no, we should try alternative stuff. I was in denial that my nerve was severed. And I remember going there, and he was going to do like, acupuncture and have me eat some shark fin or some shit. And I remember asking him directly after he like had needles in my hand and was like, "Oh, get this tea and stuff." And I was like, is my nerve going to reconnect? And I just looked right at him, and he just he almost smirked in embarrassment because he knew I asked just such a direct question that he couldn't tell me yes. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. And I went to a surgeon immediately, like a specialty surgeon for hands. And if I hadn't got that surgery and I went like woo-woo style, I would have had like a simian hand right now, which would look like it's like an ape hand. It would look like this. And I'm just so glad that happened, that I asked that guy. But that was like the last bad taste in my mouth of like alternative. Not to say that there isn't some, it's just that the general thing, it can really lead you down to some fucked up shit. And then you're pissed because you're like, oh, there's a dude who literally does microscopic nerve reattachment that literally saved my hand so I can still do things with my hand. But it wasn't the Asian dude with the shark fin, that's for sure.
Yo, EBT.
Yeah, so like we go as a family, we go to like a woo woo kind of doctor with what's the thing with you take the little pills, the little random pills, homeopathy or whatever, and all that kind of shit or whatever. But like he'll do these doctor's appointments, right? And he's like a 7-day Adventist or like the practice is named some after some Bible verse or whatever. But we're thankful for this guy because he's actually was the only person that would give us a religious exemption for vaccines for our children, like to attend school and stuff. But like, it's okay. My wife and the kids go and all this shit, whatever. Okay. He's just going to sell you like shitload of expensive supplements at the end of the day, but he'll do this thing like you stick your arms out.
Oh yeah,
right?
I did it.
And then like he has all these little glass vials, and then he'll like put the glass vials near your like meridians, like your
he's like
meridians.
you're allergic to coffee. You're allergic to coffee.
And the whole time I'm like, this is total bullshit, dude. Like, come on now. Like, how are you charging people for this shit? Yeah, this shit's funny.
Oh,
EBT got money like that. He can just throw.
Yo,
It's that hippie shit.
Yo, EBT,
Where's Reagan at?
I found on my phone an old screen recording of you and Drew. I think this was like immediately after the shutdowns in April of 2020. You were going full Chinese doomer. It was awesome.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I have that one saved still where he said he's like you're gonna have to what does he say?
Who, me?
You're gonna have to take that blood money.
No, Drew put it in one of his first money's. Like, yeah, I was driving back home from work. I'm like, yeah, I remember that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, you were amped up, man. You're like, they're coming, man.
I mean, who
This is
wasn't,
not
dude?
good,
Like
man.
fucking lockdowns,
Right.
fucking world pandemic, like,
And then nothing happened.
essential workers, all this bullshit. Like,
Bro, at my job, they gave us a fucking like your what do you call it? What did they call them? Like essential worker. Yeah, what you just said. They were like an essential worker pass that they said you might have to show if you get stopped or some shit like that.
yeah, my company filed for it, but we were never. We were whoever the authority was said that we were essential, but we were never given any kind of fucking pass or any kind of shit like that. But no, I did originally. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Like, and I still think they might do it, right? Like, Vax Daddy's gonna come back. He's like, I ain't forgot about that $1,500, y'all. I ain't forgot about that $1,500.
Coming to collect.
All right, fools. I'm going to bed. Good night, y'all.
That PPP money though was big though, and I think that PPP money really gonna fuck the entire economy of the United States. I think it's a big issue. Even my company took the PPP money, and my owner didn't use it to pay payroll. I don't think. Maybe he did. Maybe he used it to pay payroll, but then he used other capital to like buy a whole shitload of inventory of machines, which is a smart move because he pre-ordered a bunch of machines to be able to sell for the next couple of years, and it turned out to be a good move because the manufacturers couldn't produce the machines anymore because of all the restrictions on COVID already, everything. But now the banks have changed the way they do floor plans for in my industry and equipment dealerships to where now if we buy something on a floor plan for the bank and if we keep it in inventory for more than a year, now we're responsible to pay for the full value of that machine to be able to keep it within the inventory. So it's going to put a whole lot of businesses in a very bad position because they're not going to be able to cover their inventory any longer. And it really is kind of a bad deal. But
I mean,
we were shitting in high cotton 2020, 2021 to 2022. Things were great. I mean, like I was getting insane bonuses like every month just based on sales and shit. And then I just think we're kind of at the end of that now. Now we're kind of scrambling. Like we've got millions and millions of dollars in inventory that we bought because we could cover all our costs with the PPP money, and then now the bank's like, well, if you have this stuff for longer than a year, then now you're gonna have to pay for it outright to keep it on your books, which is
When you say inventory EBT, you're talking about organs, right?
yeah, sure, yeah.
Trapped
you need?
children.
Did you guys hear that theory where it's like, you know, they had all the freezers and stuff, and all these people were obviously not dying from some sniffles, but from putting them up on these like ventilators that they shouldn't have been on and whatnot. But this guy, I saw like this guy doing a rant about it, and he was like, well, there's all these freezers being sent to these places, and supposedly it was like for the jibby jab to keep them cool or whatever, but it turned out the ordinary jibby jabs just came in a regular box like everything else, just room temperature or whatever. So the question was, what were all these freezers for? And he supposed that it was a easy access for organ, for harvesting. But you know, I know that's a huge market. I'm just wondering if that's a good enough reason to do all of that, or is it just like, if that were true, just another perk that someone can take advantage of during the scenario that they made happen?
Well, that definitely would not surprise me. Let me put it that way. Like, you know, Alex Jones talked about his dad telling him, "Don't sign your donor card" a long time ago, and like I actually don't sign my donor card for that reason as well. Because
no, dude, I've talked about this before on stream with the experience when my dad died in an accident. Do not sign up to be a fucking organ donor, because your loved one will be traumatized by the fucking questions that they have to answer literally within hours of your loved one being received into the county fucking morgue. It is fucking sick and traumatizing. Like, dude, like they called me the night after I found my dad dead and asked me, what kind of did your father engage in any homosexual experiences? Did he have anal sex? Did he have any sexual transmitted diseases, homosexual or heterosexual? Did he travel out of the country and engage in any homosexual events? And like, because they're trying to see like what can they harvest from your dad. And then they ended up taking my dad's fucking eyeballs and fucking stripped skin from his waist down as a donation. Do not sign up for organ donation. It's sick shit, dude. It's fuck that.
Wow.
Someone has your dad's eyes.
Yeah. For whatever. I don't know where the fuck they went. You know? Like, and it's fucked up because you can't reject it. You can't, because he's the one that he's the one that signed up for it. I can't say that, well, no, you can't do that or whatever. Like,
that was a little while. Can they even ask the homosexual questions now, or is that
maybe not? I don't know. That was 2011, dude, but it was literally the night.
That's like, fucked up though.
I had just finished fucking trying to give my dad CPR and shit, trying to save him, and freezing, like, and they call me and like, hey, can you answer some questions? We just received your father into the morgue. We see he's an organ donor. Can you answer these questions for us, please?
Wow, that's really
really sick shit, dude. And I was so mad at the chick that, and like, I tried not to be angry with her, but I was just like, I get that this is your job, but like, are you guys serious about these fucking questions that you're asking me right now? Like, this is, for one, how would I even know that? You know, like, right. I don't know, dude. It was one of the. It stuck in my head. It stuck in my head, and after that night, I was like, no, I am not a fucking organ donor. I will not put that. No way. I will not put my wife or my kids or anybody through having answered the fucking questions that you have to answer if you're an organ donor after you fucking die and they receive your body at the morgue. No way.
It's crazy. You should be able to, at least as a loved one, know why and what
Yeah, he was
what's
cold,
being
Reddington.
used
He
for,
was
right?
out
Like,
and he was freezing cold that night. He was already frozen.
wow.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was reading the comments.
No, I was just wondering, like, can they even do full eye transplants in 2011?
I don't know. I think they like take tissue or something out of it. I don't know exactly what they do with it. But that was also one of these kind of fucked up things. I'm like, so all you did was take some fucking skin from my dad's legs and his fucking eyeballs. Fuck you guys. Like, this is some fucked up shit. Like,
yeah, especially with those questions. It's like, that's
right.
messed up.
I don't know.
Well,
The man didn't have any health issues whatsoever, in perfect health. Like, I don't know. It was some it was sick, dude. It definitely fucked me up that night. Like, I mean, it was literally like just like a couple hours after I had already, whatever. It was a bad night.
It's a bad night. It's fucked up.
But that's
So yeah,
one
I
thing
don't recommend being an organ donor. Take that off your fucking driver's license if you're an organ donor. You
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that's one thing I like to talk about a lot is like based on my experience of trying to get through medical ethics classes. If you really look at what the medical ethics are, the bioethics they call it now, that's not like that's why nothing surprises me that people might be involved in because to put it simply, I think they have a lot of legal loopholes to protect them from anyone who might question what they're doing with people not only who are dead but alive. And I don't want to get too deep into it because it's too weird, but
the greater good generally, though, it's like, we're the general statement is we're doing the hard work and figuring all these problems out, and this is the sacrifice. So we got to figure loopholes around it because who knows what we can do in the future.
I think with I guess especially with pharmacogenomics, you could see where they could take any type of tissue or skin and salvage it for a different purpose. With advanced types of pharmacogenomics, they might even start patenting certain genes or having certain genes that show up that they can manipulate inside of people that certain corporations will have the rights to already with the vaccines and stuff. You could see that they had patented a type of RNA technology. And if you research into and see what RNA is, obviously RNA is part of the genetic structure of a human being. So this is already a part of pharmacogenomics. And so you could see that if this thing manipulates the genes inside of a human and then that gene mutates, well, does Pfizer own that gene then, that mutated and shit? Well, they already had analogical cases within plants. When the Monsanto crop goes inside of another person's field and accidentally pollinates their field, then the people have to pay Monsanto money because Monsanto owns the strain, the genetic science behind the actual living crop. So it's like, how long is it until motherfuckers are like NASCAR drivers with corporation stickers on their organs and shit, where they're just like sponsored by Coca-Cola and shit. They got liver that's made by Coca-Cola and shit. That's
well, it's also the Monsanto or whoever's their competitors can actually legally shut down the procreation of certain foods that they own the technology, because it's a technological
That's what they
process.
want for humans. I feel like
Exactly.
they want you to have the
wouldn't
legacy
that apply?
seed. You got to pay them to unlock it. Unlock
Yeah,
your sperm
yeah,
seed.
yeah.
Well, and just one thing I want to mention, because whenever this subject comes up, I like to just throw this out there. Like, to this day, I think all that testing that they were doing for everybody's job and all that shit, I think there was an ulterior motive, something along the lines of this is a bunch of free genetic material and whatever was released to the public or not, I don't know, but you know, obviously there would be a lot of value in collating that data above and beyond if you supposedly had the disease, right? And I think that's something
So
that
just a massive data grab.
yeah. And like I remember the day that they asked me, like they basically told me in my job, like you have to take this test or you can't come to work anymore. And I was like, you're asking me for my genetic information. Do you understand that? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you understand like this is genetic information and that this is very valuable? Like, and they people just gloss over, but it's like I just could not shake off the feeling like this is bizarre. Like it's just because they didn't accept even like you do your own. You have to submit it to a lab with a spit cup and all this stuff with your name and your ID attached to it. It's just like I don't know, dude. I just found it, and you saw before for years before they did the test trial of having everybody who wants to know their genetic lineage supposedly, right? And then they leaked that all that data was being collected for other purposes, of course. So
And then
I'm
they
just
sold
saying,
it,
like,
and then China bought 23andMe or whatever. So,
yeah,
hilarious.
exactly. And I think it was a lot of those people were based out of Tel Aviv or something as well. So I don't know what's
Oy.
going on, but I don't know, and I'm not making any implication. I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying, like, it's very bizarre.
Bizarre world. You gonna fire up your stream, EBT?
I mean, it's already midnight, but
I'm gonna head out, you guys. Thanks for having me on, Drew.
Appreciate you, Jim Bob.
See you guys.
Peace out.
we'll see you on Friday, Jim Bob.
What are you doing Friday?
No, I'm just saying Jim Bob does Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as his
Oh,
streams.
okay.
So, yeah. He just came off a ban. He was on a 2-week ban. He was streaming from Crucible's backup channel. But he's back. He's now back at Made by Jim Bob on YouTube. He also just started a backup channel. Everybody go ahead and follow that. It's Jortslandia is the new backup channel for Jim Bob. He probably will get struck again by the Bears since he continues to go.
Bears are still out. That feud's still hot.
Yeah. So.
Well, Davey's gone, so.
Yeah. Follow Jim Bob's backup channel and follow his main channel, Made by Jim Bob and Jortslandia. We appreciate you joining tonight, sir. That was a good talk. I had fun.
Yeah, it was a good one. Are we shutting it down or what?
I guess I can I guess I can figure this out. I'll go live. Okay, go live.
Yeah, if you're watching this, go to the Enslaved by Truth channel if you're watching it later. If you're here live now, when I end this, it should dump everybody over there. I'm gonna go over there. And this is where shit gets wild over on EBT's side.
Shit.
Keep it a little professional here, and then we go to EBT's, and it's just mayhem.
Let's get it.
You going?
Yeah, I got it. I set it up.
It's already on though. All right.
I'm gonna leave studio.
All right. See you. Peace out. Appreciate you, Machine Lies. I don't know if you're going over there or not. Appreciate you. Neurojack, thanks for stopping by. Toilet Bowl Earth. Cecil, as always. See you over on the Enslaved by Truth channel. Peace out.